Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here 365 days of the year, and many of you are too, which is so fantastic. Thank you. Thank you to regular viewers. And if you're watching this on replay, hello. I know a lot of you are regular viewers too. When I'm done here, I go down in the description box where the questions are, and I timestamp everything. So you can just go in, you can pick and choose what you're interested in, get in, get out, and you don't have to sit through the whole thing or listen to me jibber jab, but everything's down there. All right. And 10% of income that comes to me through the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that's an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers too. Thank you. I have a number. Okay, sorry, I just got distracted by the chat for a second there. Electra was bringing up the Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah, I made a note of that. I was going to mention it, but you've got an actual question on it. Elizabeth Holmes, the woman who came up with a fake test. It'll tell anything and everything with just the slightest amount of blood, and it'll do all that. And she was just lying, and she'd talk with a fake deep voice so she'd be taken more seriously, and she'd dress like Steve Jobs on purpose. And well, Elizabeth Holmes allegedly duped Betsy DeVos's family out of $100 million. That's a shame. The question is, will they get their money back or pretend it didn't happen? So we'll have a look at that. Okay. And yes, Kristen's pointing out astronomers may have found a planet beyond our galaxy for the first time, which is always fun. So, and I also hear that Merrick Garland is in front of a hearing today, and Tom Cottoned. Okay, let me just pull up the questions and it'll take me just a second here. Make sure I've got the right ones. Okay. And we'll get on with the questions. All right. Okay, Mo Brooks, we're starting with his staff. Yes, look at how much money they've bilked from people, and yes, oof. Okay. Sorry about this. I'm just taking me a second to kind of pull things together. Here I am on time and still running late. Somehow. Okay. But I want to make sure, I still have a few more slots here, so I wanted to make sure I grabbed your last questions. Criminal charges I've got. Okay, I've got Cecilia's question. Yes, I have your question, MJWS. Will Biden pick Anita Hill for the Supreme Court? Love to be a fly on the wall during that conference, by the bi-weekly conference. And Devin Nunes is having quite the day. So, all right, so this is the Elizabeth Holmes question from Electra. Let me just grab this quickly. Put that in. Save that. Excuse me. And to see if there was anything else. Yeah, Mo, Folly and Friends, I agree. Mo, my staff made me do it, Brooks. Exactly. And then I will have a quick look at this. All right, so put that there, save it, and let's get going. Oh, and today's nails are a kind of a blotchy color, so it's kind of fun. So it's not anyone's thinking it's like snake skins. No. Oh, nay. So, but it is October 27th, so we're just a few days away from Halloween. I'm still excited about my costume. I know it's silly, but I'm excited. Yes, the Gothic houses. I don't know if you guys know this, but I mean, some of you do because you're long-time viewers. But I'm actually going to start. I'm going to wait. Cat Shepherd says your nails look like a Dead Can Dance album cover. I loved Dead Can Dance. That was a good, like their main album, the big out. That was a good album. You know what? I'm going to share something because it's Halloween or nearly Halloween. Hang on. I got this cool thing. It's actually a ladder, so I can get to the top of my bookshelves, but it's really thin. Works really well. And then put that there, and this little thing drops down. Get the big heavy box. Come down a little bit. So I don't try to carry the big heavy box. This is my collection of Gothic paperbacks from the 60s and 70s with the coolest covers you can imagine. Random sampling. Curse of the Island Pool. The women running away from the houses in the sort of Gothic outfits. This is a good one, actually. They're behind the purple veil. Betrayal at Black Crest was a good one, too. I can recommend that one. I have this whole collection of these. Oh, I thought, Taylor says, I thought you were going to show us part of your costume. Of course not. It's a surprise. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. No. Yeah, I've got bunches and bunches of these. And they're of varying quality, but some of them are quite good. Manors and Brooding Mansions and Dark of Memory. I wish I could find my favorite covers. I would have dug them out if I had realized that's what I was going to do. And this one, Janet Louise Roberts, The Devil's Own. See, her books were particularly good. This was a woman, she wrote under a pseudonym, and she just sat down and she just wrote just a few of these under a different name because they were more about kind of evil, faintly magical kind of stuff, and her family was very much against that, but she sat down and she wrote this anyway because she wanted to. She got her typewriter and she sat down and she wrote this and she published it. And I love that. I love, the Length of a Ladder. I'll dig it out. I love these books not only for the idea of, the basic idea was that women were gaining power. And that's really, I think this might be too heavy. Hang on. I can put it here. There, put it on the chair. Women were gaining power. And that was a problem. You know, and you know, these great covers. You know, back when these were coming out, you couldn't, women would regularly have like property taken away from them if a man took them to court for it. It was always, the woman was always at a disadvantage. But women were starting to come into their own. They were starting to work outside the home in more serious roles. My mother's cousin, who she grew up with, whose name I love, was Diane Prince. Honestly, her name was Diane Prince. And she became a nuclear physicist and ended up going on to be a fully trained astronaut. She almost went up on one of the shuttle missions. She was fully trained, but she was kept back because her male colleague got to go. She was kind of the runner-up, I guess, or the person they held it just in case there was a last-minute cancellation. And it was like the last completely all-white male shuttle missions. But I mean, she was doing that back when the glass ceiling was sitting pretty much right over the steno pool, or not much farther above it. So these books were a lot about women feeling like they were not going to accept this old way. They were not going to accept being victims anymore. And there's a thread through all of these books. Oh, I wish I could find this thing right quickly, but I can't. And I don't want to waste too much more of your time because you guys are still asking important political questions, and here I am. I will say some of these are unfortunately titled. Times have changed. Like this one, not the best title. I don't know really how they got away with saying that, oh, it's just a painting. It doesn't refer to anyone in particular. It could be anybody. If that's Liz Taylor, give me a break. And aha, I found my favorite. I'm not big on Phyllis Whitney, to be honest. Not my favorite. I'll just be honest. But I love this cover. Look at that. How cool is that? So there's a whole thing about the artists who made these kinds of covers. And anyway, so I'll put this down. Okay. Let me put these down quickly. It is my hard cutoff day. I will get to the questions. But there we go. All right, I'm back. But I wanted to share that because it's fun. Sandy Miller says, love the books. My daughter has some of those I recognize. She still has all of her books too. Good luck finding them. I mean, they're quite expensive these days. used to be able to get, used to be able to just get, a stack of them for a little bit of money, but now they're going up and up in price. So thank you, Rob. Lucius? Lucasy? Kudos to you for pronouncing my last name. Lucasy? Lucasy? I'll try. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to have. I'll find the link for the ladder and I'll put it in under the. I'll put it in the comments underneath after I'm done today. Okay. Lucasy, Lucasy. I'll try. All right. Oh, Sherry says I used to have boxes of books like that. Lost them all in the hurricane. I'm so sorry. I sold. I had 2,000 books, and I reached a point where I had to sell them all just to buy food. Just sold all of them. This is what I've got left, but I didn't want to give those up. Anyway. Kathy Lamson is saying that Roger Stone is a jerk. I don't know what exactly he's done this time, but I'm going to agree just on general knowledge. All right, so 1703. Mo Brooks. Oh, Roger Stone. Oh, ridiculous quote from Roger Stone. All right, Mo Brooks, who is being, he's under scrutiny. Mo Brooks is under scrutiny for having not only, oh no, it was a Gosar. But anyway, Mo Brooks is said to be one of the people who helped organize the January 6th insurrection. But well, now Mo is saying that he didn't do it, but it's possible his staff did. So basically, he's throwing his staff under the bus. So will they turn on him and go, dude? Thank you, Deborah. Mo Brooks, your staff. Oh, they feel pretty loyal, but they're peeved. Peeved. Jean says, I sold my engagement ring to pay for auto insurance. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Four of Pentacles. He's splashing around, floundering a little bit. Because the Republicans are in a bit of trouble. Queen of Pentacles, Moon, Page of Wands. But this is saying, make no mistake, it was all of them together. It wasn't his staff. Or it was his staff, but it was a whole bunch of them working together to create the insurrection. And they don't have anything to hide behind or underneath. Oh, wow. Michelle Peterson? My family has had a used bookstore for over 25 years. Wow. It sounds like heaven. My first job was at a used bookstore in an old Carnegie library. Gorgeous building. Okay, so I'm just getting them being peeved. But Mo Brooks, what's going to happen to you? That's a lot of legal worry. Magician. Six of Cups, cat hair. King of Swords. Five of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. He's going to hang on for a while. They tried to pull the rabbit out of the hat, the insurrection, to overturn the election. There will be investigations. Right now, he's sitting pretty and trying to kick down as much of the Democrats' plans as possible. But he's being investigated. Right now, like today, he's sitting pretty. Will that continue? Have a great day, Maria. Thank you for stopping by. B. Gray. Hey, first time to catch live in a few days. Mo Brooks, you're sitting pretty now, but the January 6th committee, they are just floored under information. So many people, so many records, so much stuff. It's, they're not fighting Trump on, I think it is like five documents or something that he's trying to keep hidden. And they're just like, we've got enough to do. We're just not even going to bother with that. And at first it's like, wait a second, are you letting him go? Are you letting him off easy? Are you letting him win things? And then it's like, no, they're just inundated. And that's what it feels like. So it may take a little bit of time to get some of this sorted out, just because the sheer amount of information they're dealing with and their staffs are. Somebody's going to prison. There are people going to prison. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Cups. There are some Republicans just offering to testify. There are others who are going to have to be dragged along. Some who don't want to, but there's some real accountability that's going to happen here. So I'm not necessarily getting anything specific about Mo Brooks. I don't know why. Floating Lotus Women's Wellness is saying, are these Trumpifites thinking their underlings should be honored to take a bullet for them, legally speaking? Makes you wonder. Two of Wands. Starting the fighting, communicating about starting the fighting. Hermit. Eight of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. I can't get his energy very well. I've got in a lot of investigations, whatever smoke they're going to try to blow isn't going to work. Or the work they did to set this up, the energy of, it's just a deluge of information. So we're going to have to wait for a while to get something more specific. But Yes, so many. Who was that? That was extremely well put. Michael Grant. I'm not surprised. It's well put. Mel Brooks. So many records, so many felonies, so little time. Chris Wickens is saying maybe they've not begun to investigate him specifically, so you can't pick up on his energy. Could be. Mel Brooks. Oh, the world as he know it. It's the end of the world as you know it. I feel fine. Do you feel fine? I feel fine. It's Mo Brooks knows it. Six of Cups, King of Swords, 5 of Cups. The Democrats, the committee working, trying to knock down what they can, but this is a prosecutor. There are people going to prison. All right. Benny Grismore. Something about dog breeds? I'm afraid I don't know anything about that. Okay. Taylor B., that was my question too. What did I miss? Oh yeah, the Rittenhouse thing. I think that's on the list. All right, 27. Kristen Davis had a question. Let's see here. Will we ever find out why Justice Kennedy suddenly retired? What a surprisingly fortuitous situation for Trump. Justice Kennedy just deciding to step down. And I think something really positive happened to his son. His son got a good job or something. I wonder. I'm sure it was just a coincidence. Wait, Mark, we could probably look at the Virginia governor's race. I'm just going to work my way through the questions right now, guys, and then I'll open the floor if that's okay. Because otherwise, I'm afraid I'm getting distracted, and want to make sure I get to the questions. But I'm so grateful for your questions, and I'm so grateful you're here. Okay. Justice Kennedy. Will we ever find out the real reason why Justice Kennedy stepped down when he did? Chris Wickens says, I thought they asked Kennedy to leave so they could put someone else in. I think you're right. 8 of Wands. Oh, yeah, the far right, trying to put in as many judges as much, absolutely, as possible. King of Swords, Devil. And again, this 5 of Cups. It wasn't for a good reason. It was corrupt, trying to pull the court as far to the right as possible. Like they could only do so much. Will we find out? I don't know. It doesn't feel like a timely manner. Or Taylor B's asking where stuff will come out about his son. King of Cups. 6 of Swords. 4 of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. I keep getting the same cards. There's something here. This card isn't just about leaving. It's right there. This card isn't just about leaving. There was a card, it was a prosecutor card in the last thing. I wonder if, were there any rumors about one of his children having done something maybe they shouldn't have? Or is this, it could just be him leaving, but of course McConnell was not willing to ever let anyone in who wasn't a Republican, far right. And it was a gift. Maybe it was just leaving, but I don't know. There's a thread in the background of legal peril, but it's not him. There's a thread in the back. I don't know. Anything else to know about this situation? His Electra Storm says his son was with Deutsche Bank. Taylor B says they had dirt on his son. That would explain it. Alan, oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. Michael Grant says Germany knows they have all the transfers from Deutsche Bank and Alpha Bank. Electra Storm says his son loaned money to Donald Trump. Helene France is saying his son worked in the loan department at Deutsche Bank. That would explain it. Howling at the Moon. 7 of Cups. Magician. 6 of Wands. Victory of the far right. Someone had information and went to somebody in power and said, hey, we've got this dirt on maybe Kennedy's son. Because they've been going after the Republicans have been going after that Supreme Court for years now. So that's what I'm getting on that. I hope that helps. All right, 3230. Oh, poor Devin Nunes can't catch a break today. There were like 3 different articles on him today. Unbelievable. And we haven't read on him in forever. Matter of fact, I've completely forgot about him for a while. Those were the days, my friends. The halcyon days when we could forget about Devin Nunes. Well, anyway, so his campaign finances, Devin Nunes' campaign finances, for years and years and years now, have been run by his mother. Okay, here's the problem. She's been making mistakes. And she's been making the same mistakes year after year after year after year. My limited understanding is that when campaign contributions came in that were above the allowed amount, the campaign would refund to the donor, send them a check for the difference. Like, we can't accept more than this. Here's the difference. Here's the check. Well, then a lot of these people wouldn't cash the check. Well, at that point, what the campaign is supposed to do after a period of time is say, okay, and actually turn all of that over to the Treasury. Guess what Devin Nunes' mom hasn't been doing? Oh, the Treasury. I knew I forgot something. So, currently, the amount that the discrepancy, the amount of the discrepancy between his mom's incorrect records and the real numbers is currently sitting at $40,000. Yeah. Daily Beast, the article was entitled, "Who Messed Up Devin Nunes' Campaign Records? This bad? His mom." Taylor B says it ends up on the Treasury unclaimed monies list. There we go. There we go. Hello, Foggy. Foggy Ozark. So is Devin Nunes going to get just a slap on the wrist, or? And there were like two other. Well, first of all, I think he made a fool of himself somewhere. Oh, and the judge in the defamation case is insisting that Devin Nunes' side disclose who is funding the defamation case. I'm pretty sure it's the defamation case against Devin Nunes' cow. That Twitter account. So, Devin Nunes, who exactly? Where's the funding coming from for this defamation case against your cow? Whew. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. Three of Swords. That's not good for you. Oh, Devin. There's the Chariot. 9 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. Emperor. Somebody who thinks he's above the law. 10 of Wands. Burden. Reckless. It's not reckless driving. Reckless legislating. Legislative living. Legislators living. It's just reckless. And on the defense of having taken quite a few lumps from being in the Trump world, but just really reckless. A lack of funds. And actually, does anybody know how long it's been since he actually talked to his own constituents? Last time I heard it was like years. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Emperor. 10 of Wands. Burden. All right, so this is the big man being burdened. Quite often this can be big piles of paper being taken into court. Yeah. Charles Carey is saying, I think he's blaming his mom like Cruz blamed his daughters. I think that was GM Dave saying, it's the triple book accounting method. Yeah, no, Michael Grant, I'm so sorry. Michael Grant saying, it's the triple books method of accounting. The books for the government, the books for the spouse, and the real books you never see are hidden in the basement. Yes, Michael Grant, yes. So, what kind of trouble you in, Nunes? Seven of Pentacles, fruits of labor. Ill-gotten gains, maybe. Strength. Fool. 3 of Swords. He's in trouble. That's gonna hurt. He's not gonna throw his own mother under the bus. It doesn't feel like it. I'm not taking any kind of decency for granted with this man. It just doesn't feel like he would do that. But he is a fool. We know that. But this is legally going to hurt. He's going to have fines to pay. He's going to. It's going to hurt. Is Nunes going to don the orange jumpsuit or whatever the equivalent is, whatever state he lives in? Queen of Cups. Three of Pentacles. Center card is going to prison. That's my up the river card. And there's the Lovers. Because he's... Oh... Quite possibly going up the river. This is planning. And this is the cult. It being uncovered by the Democrats. I don't know. But the cards I'm getting for a number of these people, a number of these legislators are just bad. I have trouble personally believing that any of these people will be held accountable just up here. Not using my intuition, but just logically, because they've gotten away with so much. But the cards I'm getting for these people are really bad. Kristen is saying Ted Cruz is asking about targeting political opponents to Garland. I don't understand what that means. Teresa Ford, I'm with you. Please, universe, give us all justice. Yes. Okay, 4130. Okay. Steve Bannon has said about school boards, it's time to start locking up these people. So, school boards. Is the school board situation around the country going to get even worse? It's very scary. And people who oversee elections are quitting in record numbers because they can't protect their families. Constant harassment, constant death threats, constant other threats that are just disgusting. So school boards, back over to school boards. It's a situation with U.S. school boards going to get worse with the far right. Are they going to start, I don't know, in red states, will they start arresting certain school board members? Or, heaven forbid, will some of these real crazies do more than talk when it comes to their threats against these people? Electra Storm says that's why the DOJ had to get involved with the school board situation. Well, they're involved, but thank you, Judy. Knight of Pentacles. And then sit down. Take your crusty self and sit down. Kevin Brazil says books for spouse. I don't even know where my wife banks. Has always worked fine. Oh, I don't know. All right, Devil card. As with the school board situation, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, even just going to a school board meeting, it's scary. Moon. They'll have teenagers who will come up to ask questions of the school board and get the poor kids are just attacked yelled at and screamed down by adults in the room. It's like, are you kidding me? It's just reducing these poor kids to tears. And your goal is about education, about the good of the kids, but you're reducing the kids to tears. Please. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, this is ugly energy. King of Swords. That's much more law enforcement. This is a small potato, this is just your run-of-the-mill average citizen Republican throwing tomatoes. But so it isn't going to turn into massacres. Yay, good. The fact that we have to read on this is scary. But this corruption and taking your own life in your hands just by going to work, and the amount of these people work themselves up into a frenzy, and heavy-duty law enforcement having to get involved. So, but I've got it with heavy-duty law enforcement getting involved. So at least there's that. At least it's not just all fire and brimstone. Things about to get worse. Diana Cachet says, that makes me crazy. That have they no decency? I'm with you. You care about the kids, huh? Then act like it. Okay, 46. Little worrying. But let's have a look. Basically, there was an article that Kristen with Uncover the News brought. Thank you, Kristen. The title of it is Donald Trump's Slow Motion Coup is Becoming a Runaway Train. It's not going to work, I'm telling you that, but it can get a little harrowing. This is from MSN. Hang on. Share screen. Okay, well, you're just trying to see the middle anyway. And it's just going through important changes. First, changes in state legislatures will allow partisans to determine election winners. These changes in legislatures have already begun in Texas, Georgia, and South Carolina. Voter suppression laws, gerrymandering, promulgation of the big lie and other disinformation, and Republicans, this was about a month ago, but Republican lawmakers in Pennsylvania on Monday unveiled sweeping changes to the conduct of elections through a proposed constitutional amendment, the latest turn in a partisan power struggle. The Republican pen measure passed the House State Government Committee on party lines 15-10. One provision would substantially toughen Pennsylvania's existing identification requirements. Investigate voting machines, and on and on. So I haven't specifically seen anything yet where they're actively talking about a state government overturning the election results in that state if they don't like it. But this is getting ridiculous. Let's put it nicely, ridiculous. So let's read on Trump's slow-moving coup. Taylor B., I agree. We need to elect more Democrats so they can drop legislation to get rid of this nonsense. Yes. So people could vote, and it will count. Trump's slow-moving coup. How's it going to go? Alan? Is it Alan? I'm not sure where you're from, so I have made an assumption. My heart goes out to all of you in the USA that have to deal with this blatant corruption and stupidity. Thank you. Trump's slow-moving coup. Many legal decisions that have been made ongoing, but he doesn't have the power that he had. Joanne saying he can coup all the way to jail. I like that. Fool. Oh, from Sydney. Okay, Alan. Knight of Swords. Lovers. Hierophant. Six of Swords. Trump's slow-moving coup. Well, you've got the cult members right in the middle. But you've got law enforcement going very heavily after Trump. I like this because it almost looks like the fool's running away. It's like, oh, don't mind me. I'm not here. I only broke so many laws. So this is what's actively happening. These are the cult members, and this is the government. But the government is sending people to prison. These two cards are what's really important here. The cult members are making a lot of noise. Seriously, they're like, the cult members are like Chinese New Year. I mean, just noise. Noise, 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 noise. The difference, of course, is Chinese New Year's is a celebration and it's to get rid of evil spirits, whereas the cult members are welcoming the spirit of Trump in. Ugh. This gives me hope. They're making a lot of noise, but it gives me hope. We're going to be okay. We are. Joanne says, we have an election next week. Good. I researched every candidate, and if he or she had an R next to their name, they got no vote. They got a no vote. Thank you. Okay. Okay. 5230. Kyle Rittenhouse. So the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial has refused to let the people who Kyle Rittenhouse shot to be called victims. They can be called looters, but they can't be called victims. And the judge, that's the judge's ruling. So is this judge, should this judge be removed? Is this judge going to be removed? What's going on here? Because no. And I cannot read on Kyle Rittenhouse. His mother's energy is all over him. All over him. It's her, I mean, her energy, like you try to read on his energy, and her energy is like right here. And it's like, lady, children are very important, and I'm glad that you care about yours, but you got a really twisted way of showing you care. Oh, yes. Electrostorm says it's a Trump judge. So is this going to... So is there basically not going to be any justice here? Well, Chariot, justice moving forward quickly. Everything moving forward quickly. Possibly kind of a runaway feeling. Ace of Swords, the truth. 8 of Pentacles, working. 5 of Bats, insult to injury. Knight of Swords, law enforcement. Knight of Wands. Well, this is the two sides running neck and neck. It's like a horse race. This is what Kyle Rittenhouse did. This is both sides of the case, the truth versus whatever the people protecting Kyle Rittenhouse can gin up. Aggressive law enforcement, but Rittenhouse attorneys or arguments hot on the heels. A court case should not be like a horse race. A court case should not be like a horse race. So, any more information about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial? White supremacists. Government. Trumpers. Trump action. Far-right action. Is Kyle Rittenhouse going to be held accountable? Actually, at 57. Held accountable. I try to read on Kyle Rittenhouse's energy, and it's like his mother's pulling my arm. That is weird. Like pulling me away. Ooh. This part of my arm just this one part of my arm just went cold. Lady, back off. Ask my guides for help. She's Looney Tunes. Electra Storm says, is her energy blocking everyone from reading Kyle? It's not helping. It's really not helping. Fool. He was brainwashed. Doesn't excuse what he did, but he was brainwashed. Star. Three of Pentacles. King of Cups. High Priestess. King of Pentacles. I think some things are going to come up during the court case. Some secrets. Like what he was really into. His interests and what he was saying privately. And so he starts out as, at least just some of these people, like, well, he's just a kid or he's a young man, and it doesn't end up that way. Oh, he's really disturbed. Colleen Lady, leave our autumn alone, please. Michelle says, sounds like she's dead inside. I'm not getting dead. I'm getting panicked. Like fighting anyone off, anyone who gets near him. You try to read on him, pull you out of the way, It's this kind of thing, and it's like, Cheryl Ward says, Autumn, you look beautiful as always, but also tired. Do I seem tired? I'm juggling a lot. So Michelle says quite bluntly, you may leave now. You have close to 400 people energetically watching you. Thank you. She brought him there exactly free to Smet. Thank you, Patty. So, Rittenhouse, you gonna spend the rest of your life in prison? Or a big thank you, Joanne. Hermit. Wow, that's a lot of years in prison. That's having a whole life in a small room. Eight of Wands, Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords. It's a pretty clear-cut case. He took lives. There was all this indoctrination from the right, but he took lives, and their victims and their families, whether they can be called victims or not. But this is the energy on this it's terrible. It is trying to escape through your mind out of the fact that you are so in such a limited space, decade after decade after decade. Yeah, what's going to happen to Mom? Yes, Laurel, she should be charged as accessory to murder. I'm surprised hasn't she? Yeah, why isn't his mom an accessory to the crime? I agree. She gave him the gun, says Taylor B, didn't she? I thought so. Page of Swords. Yeah, you sent your kid out with a weapon. Lynn Halliday says, to all the readers in here, how do you separate the energies? I can't seem to read on my children with all of their energies combining together. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Sometimes if you come at it from another angle, the question at another angle, you'll be able to. But yeah, sometimes it's a huge, massive energy, and it's like, the Thief card, the Devil card, Temperance. Why does she get Temperance? She gets off easier than he does. I don't know, but lady needs to get her energy off my arm. Help, please. It's better. Okay. Okay, 104.30. Where are we? Cecilia had a question. Whoops, no, don't erase everything. Goodness gracious, no. 104.30. Yeah, 45. Will the Congress traitors who were involved in planning the January 6th insurrection face criminal charges? Please. And memories of Echo sending protective energy. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Kevin says, reminds me of Amber's run-in with the first ghost in Dead World. Kevin gets massive points for reading my book and remembering that. Thank you. Yeah, there's something in that book that's based on something that actually happened to me. Not the whole thing, obviously, but there's, yeah, the hand thing. Yeah, that actually happened to me. It's what inspired the whole book. So. Um, 106. Congress traitors. Are we going to see legislators doing prison time for their role, for what they did with the January 6th insurrection? Legislators facing prison time. Yeah, maybe it wasn't such a great idea to get involved with Trump, and that you end up beaten up and continually beaten up, and your reputation over the long term is ruined, and it sucks you down into conspiracies, and yeah, maybe not a grand idea. Legislators. 2 of Cups, strength. Well, the investigators are not backing down, and they're not going easy on anybody. Ace of Wands, so far right action taken. Lovers, cult by the cult. And I don't know why in this deck they made it this person planting seeds. I think it was, well, maybe they're just planting seeds and it's going to take a long time for them to grow. So that's why they don't have enough now. But the 4 of Pentacles is a card of lack. It's a card of the miser. It's a lack because of your own narrow-mindedness. And this is a lack of Republican support, or the fact that you're in Congress not protecting you from the fact that you took the actions of a cult member. And on the left, they're not backing down. They're not going easy. Michael Grant said they were not legislators. They were engaging in insurrection. No immunity for acts like that. They will, however, cry absolute immunity for their criminal conduct as legislators. Exactly, Michael. Exactly. Yeeps. So, actual prison time? I'm feeling such regret. Never should have believed Trump. I never should have believed him. I never should have believed him. There's Trump the man. We never should have believed him. I never should have gone along with this. I never should have. What was I thinking? You wanted power. And you thought that living in fantasy land would give you that. 4 of Swords, 2 of Swords, 6 of Cups. legal decisions made. Legally, you're done. You're done. You're dusted. Legislatively, you're done. You're dusted. You're not. This is an empty chair in Congress. This is a lot of Democrats in Congress. Legal decisions made. I'm getting Republicans having to leave. Okay, 4 of Wands. Emperor. 8 of Ghosts. That's evidence. Queen of Pentacles. Big names. There's evidence of big names who were trying to overturn the election, destroy democracy. Trump's base. These guys are in big trouble. Big trouble. Good. I hope I'm right. I saw something here. Kevin was saying The Apprentice is responsible for the false persona of Trump, I believe. Fooled a lot of people. That's true. That's true. Michael Grant is saying, I saw Trump this morning in a bowl. He did not look so godly as he was washed. Oh, Michael. Cheryl Ward, immediately expulsion, then trial, fines, prison for sedition and treason. I'm with you. Taylor B said another reader said about 40 are corrupt. A couple of Dems too. Not with the insurrection. I don't know. Laurel's asking specifically about the Senate. I got all of them. All over, both House and Senate. Specifically about the Senate. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It won't make much difference. Queen of Pentacles, the group of Republicans. It won't make, if House or Senate, it won't make a difference. It won't matter which chamber they're in as far as like what anything being able to save them, if that makes any sense. I know why you're asking, but I am getting that. Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, 10 of Swords, and that hurts. Oops, this way. Left to right for you. Yeah. They gave it their all. They fought for Trump. And they are going to reap the whirlwind. All the legal swords in their backs. Metaphorical backs. And that's what I'm getting for that. Okay, 114. I think I know the answer. I think we know the answer, but why not? Well, MJWS was asking, will Biden pick Anita Hill for the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court justices meet twice a week as a group to discuss cases and things. Makes you want to be a fly on the wall in those conferences, doesn't it? Will Biden choose Anita Hill to be on the Supreme Court? Knight of Cups. Queen of Wands. Eight of Cups. Four of Swords. No, it isn't. But it was a thought. I just liked that mental image. Clarence Thomas having to go in there every day with her right there. Oh, really? You're so important? I mean, this job, apparently they'll let anybody in. It was worth looking at. Okay. At 1:16. All right. 1:16. Electra Storm was asking about Elizabeth Holmes. I mentioned this at the beginning. If you don't remember, Elizabeth Holmes was the woman who came up with a fake medical test that just a single drop of blood or whatever it was it'll do all of these different tests and it'll do all of this stuff and on and on. And apparently she'd use a fake deep voice, so she'd be taken seriously. And she'd dress like Steve Jobs, and she conned people out of so much money and lied about the results and all of this. Well, apparently, Elizabeth Holmes allegedly duped Betsy DeVos's family out of $100 million. So Electra is asking, do they plan on getting their money back or just pretend it didn't happen? I'm just over here, just reading cards. So, DeVos family, gonna try to get your money back? I'm getting a pretty much yeah. Emperor. Moon. Hierophant. That family's as crazy as a bag of angry cats. Yeah. Their energy gives me a headache. Two of Cups. Four of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Betsy DeVos, having been a secretary in the government under Trump, boy, she got big for her britches. She was already a world-class selfish narcissist, but this is, it's made it much worse. I think they'll go after it, but it won't be like, they won't make a big deal out of it. It'll just be like, send the minions. Go send the minions. We're going to stay at the party. We're going to stay at the lawn party. Send the minions to go get our money back. That's what I'm getting. You know the DeVosses. So. You are scumbags, the lot of you. You watching, you're wonderful. DeVosses, scumbags, the lot of you. Whew. All right, next. Yes, I agree. Eric Prince is seriously scary. If only, yeah. Memories of Echoes is saying that money is gone. Yeah, good for that. Jane Weininger is saying we're insured for that, unquote. Probably. Alicia Marie saying the Waltons were also scammed. Yep. Okay, at 1:20. We have a question about... Kristen from Uncover the News brought us some information that ProPublica has identified more than 40 state and local government officials, all Republicans, on a membership roster for the Oath Keepers. So, will extremists start being removed from governments, state governments, federal governments, or is it smack too much of McCarthyism? Oath Keepers. So, I mean, if you had people in government who were members of the Klan, other than voting them out of office, pretty much just stay there, because there have been people like that in government for, pretty much all along. Yes, I like that. This thing just jumped. Michael Grant was saying, go vegan, become an oat keeper, and save food for a rainy day. Yes, we are oat keepers. Oat. Yes, memories of echoes. Modern day. Yeah. It's much more open now. You can just be awful. You can be that terrible. You can join groups like this. Seven of Pentacles, fruits of labor. Five of Pentacles. It's like the conversation I had with a Republican who said to me, well, the Democrats won, so I have no representation. It's a democracy. What, there have to be Republicans in power? No, that's not how democracy works. It's majority rule. No, I'm not being represented. Therefore, this has to change. You were born and raised here. You don't. Okay. Queen of Swords. Ten of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. They'll keep an eye on the extremists. Law enforcement will keep an eye on the extremists. And it's sad, but there are members of government who are just going to keep playing their evil reindeer games. Sorry to say. And here we are. Yikes. Let me do a quick count here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, you can do one more question. This is why we need to vote exactly, Electra. Having a quick look. So does anybody have one more question? Carmela says, what would happen if every indigenous nation decided to become a state? I'm getting a big legal you can't get there from here is what it feels like. I think they should have much more power, but Four of Cups, it's an idea, but refusal. Oh, the Virginia election. I'll look at that. Happy to. Two of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Oh, card fell. Hold, please. Ace of Bats. No, there's... it's like the energy's like a wall. Energy's like a wall, I'm afraid. Sorry. 126. Let's ask about the Virginia race. Governor. Virginia governor's race. Maybe we could look at New Jersey tomorrow, or something like that. But right now we're going to look at the Virginia governor's race. McAuliffe. I'll put 3 on McAuliffe, 3 on Youngkin. Did you guys see Rachel Maddow's the Youngkin ad? Ridiculous. Virginia governor's race. McAuliffe, Youngkin. Are you going to win the race? Is it going to be Governor McAuliffe? Or Youngkin? Is it going to be Governor Youngkin? Ten of Pentacles. Okay, yes, it's true. The opposite party usually wins in Virginia after a presidential race, but this is also a little bit of blind flailing. I don't know, but we'll see. McAuliffe, are you going to be governor? Knight of Swords, Hermit, Knight of Pentacles. Odd. Youngkin, what are you getting? 8 of Cups, Hanged Man, 5 of Swords. So this is confused and disappointed Democrats as he's walking away. Like, what the? This is insult to injury. This is suspension. Whereas here, I've got a hermit in the middle who's got stuff going on, but is sort of isolated, but is sending out for law enforcement. And I'm not sure what this is. This surprise, not completely clear cut because it's a very close race. Did you guys watch Andre on Astrology Alert? He did a video on the Virginia race, and he was like, yep, it's really hard to call. It's leaning toward McAuliffe, but the astrology is not particularly cut and dried either. Kevin Brazil says recount, etc. You may have a point there, Devin. Yep. Electra says a lot of the readers have said the Dem wins, but the other side, Republicans, take it to court. Yeah. Devil, corruption. 6 of Swords, Temperance, 8 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 10 of Wands. people want more quiet. They want less extremism, and they want less Trump. Just in general, they just do. And this is after the guy on the right is giving a speech or something, and people going, "What?" This is McAuliffe. This is the Democratic night going forward, and this is the burden of the Trump stuff. So all told here, I'd say it's leaning McAuliffe. But yeah, there's is anybody ever going to just concede when they lose? Can we just go back to those days where people who lose just admit they lost? So anyway, and that is my 12 questions for today. So thank you so much for everything. I'm here 365 days of the year. I will be back tomorrow, and I will read on more of your questions. And yeah, we're gonna get through this. There are good days ahead. There really are. Okay. And at 4 o'clock, it is 1:32 here in Chicago p.m. And at 4 o'clock, I'll be over on Book Art Media to do creative sprints. You're always welcome. Just bring your creative project, and we'll sing your praises and encourage you between the 25-minute sprints. So, as usual, the link's in the description box. All right, hang in there. And if only saying thank you for continuing to cover the Virginia election. We're terrified. Oh. Well, we'll get through, okay? 4 o'clock Central Time, Chicago time in the U.S., over on Book Art Media. 4 to 6 Central Time, so 5 to 7 Eastern Time. And I only say you don't have to be there the whole time, but you can come in later. It's just work blocks. Come in at any point. It's not monetized. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but the world needs your creative energy. It just does, okay? Hang in there. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.